Hi there, my name is Terry Smith. I'm the owner of Adorable Deco Decor, where we make and sell wreaths and other types of home decor. I also work toward teaching others to make their own designs through my wreath making group. And today is Tuesday, and you know, always on Tuesdays we do bows, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to be talking ribbon matching, how to choose the ribbons to make up your bows, and then we're going to make a couple of bows, and also show you some new ribbons that I have in my shop, boxmybow.com, if you want to check those out. So okay, now here's what I wanted to do today. I have two ribbon sets that we're going to work with. You know, we usually on Tuesdays we do two bows, and I want to make the first one with the Easy Bow Maker, and then the second one we're going to make by hand. And if we need to, we'll do another one by hand. But I know we did Easy Bow Maker last week, and I said we wouldn't, but I forgot. I do have some one-directional ribbon, and I think it's going to be a little bit easier if I show you on the Easy Bow than if I were to do it by hand. And so we'll do that. And hey, Tammy, happy Tuesday to you, Ethel May. All right, so that's the plan. But let me show you. I got all excited about this ribbon last week. I think I showed you some that were coming, but thank goodness it got here today, or yesterday I should say. But is that not adorable? I mean, whether you're a gnome person or not, I don't really happen to be a gnome person. I don't dislike them, but I'm just not crazy. You know, some people are crazy for them, but isn't that cute? I really love the colors. And it has, you know, a few different trends. Aside from the gnomes, it has the buffalo check, both in the orange and in the white. And then it has the blue tied into it too, or the turquoise, I should say. And so I was excited to get this in yesterday. Hey, Phyllis. Hey, Donna. So we're going to start out working with this. And this is the one I wanted to use the Easy Bow for. And again, as I said, it's a one-directional ribbon, meaning that you know, if you put it in a bow this way, it's going to be upside down. So that you can't use this kind of ribbon the traditional way. You've got to treat it with a little bit differently. So we're going to work with that. Now, how do I match my ribbons? Well, I start with one primary focal point, just like I do on the wreaths, okay? And, you know, it's going to be this ribbon right here, okay? So I look at it, and I look at all the colors in it. It has the buffalo check. It has both the black and the orange. It has the orange pumpkin. It has a little bit of burgundy. I don't know if you can tell that there, so I could have used burgundy. And then it also has some moss green. And yeah, Carol, that's right. There's so many ways you can match it. That's right, because it has all kinds of different things going on. And then, of course, it has the orange also. And, you know, I could go with the buffalo check trend, or I could use another black and white if I wanted to. But and then the background's kind of an ivory. Yeah, it has the white here in the guy's beard and the buffalo check, but then the background is actually more of an ivory. Okay, and it's good quality ribbon. It's a canvas. It's nice ribbon. But anyway, so I start building out from there, and I already know in my head. Now, you don't have to do this. If you wanted to use 3 ribbons, you could. I like to, well, in this particular one, I wanted to use 4. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use 2.5 inches. This is one of them. Okay, so I need another 2.5 inch. And then I'll throw in 2 1.5 inch ribbons. Okay, all right. So actually, I had this at the wholesaler at their shop there at Market, and so I just took this around. I'm walking around their showroom there, and I knew right away I wanted some buffalo check. Even though I know a lot of us are tired of making buffalo check still sells. Okay, and I just thought it matched perfectly with that. Now this one's a flannel. Again, a nice quality. You have to watch flannel ribbon or some of the woven ones. They can be a little bit on the flimsy side, so I was a little reluctant until I pulled this out. And you can see it's already trying to stand on its own. But it's a nice quality flannel ribbon. Sometimes they can be too thin. I've got one that I use a lot in a 1.5 inch. Sometimes if you like the pattern and you like the material but it's too flimsy, you can go down a notch, like from a 2.5 to a 1.5 inch ribbon. And I could have done it here, but the 2.5 has got a good body to it, you can see. Okay, all right, so now I've got my 2.5 inch ribbons. Okay, I got a lot of pattern going on, so I know I need at least one solid to kind of quiet it down. Okay, but then also sitting real close to this ribbon in the showroom was this, and it has all the right colors. It has the burgundy, it has the moss green, it has the orange, and kind of a mustardy yellow. But I thought that would be really pretty to go with it too. Now I would not, in the same bow, I would not put these two together. Okay, I mean you could, but I'm not going to. Okay, my thinking is it's such a pretty ribbon. I'm going to bring him over here. Okay, so that's what I've got going on so far. Okay, but I'm looking at it, and here's why. I almost stopped at just these 3 ribbons when I was choosing this kit here, but I'm missing one of the most important elements in here, and that's that turquoise. Okay, and it's really hard to find a turquoise that is not patterned. I didn't want to throw in another pattern here, okay, because that would have been really busy. We just used an everyday. This is actually a spring and summer ribbon, and that's what we're going to use. Okay, just to kind of give a little bit of break for your eye. It's going to kind of calm things down, all the busyness. It's going to kind of focus the patterns, and it's going to pull in that turquoise. So I thought those colors would look really nice together. Okay, and I plan on, now I don't do this a lot, but I don't want the turquoise to be the main color. I want just a little hint of it. So I don't want it up here at the front of my bow. Okay, I'm going to bring it back here to the back. Actually, I'll put it right on top of this buffalo check, and we're just going to use one loop of it just to give a little hint of it. Okay. All right, but that's the way I pick out the ribbon kits. That's the way I build my designs. I start with one focal point and build outward from there. Okay? All right. Yeah, turquoise is hard to find, and that's why I would not have probably bought these online sight unseen, because there's so many variations in computer screen, and you know, sometimes the picture's been edited a little bit so the color's not true. And so like I said, I had this in the showroom where I could actually see it. So that's why we did it that way. And it's not a perfect match. I have to say, I mean, if you look toward the center of the pumpkin, see there's a different color of it matches more the center of the pumpkin than it does the outside of the pumpkin. So I bring that in, but that's okay. Okay. All right. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Dorothy, how are you guys? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to drop you down here. And like I said, we're going to work with this one. We're going to do with the easy bow. And I did list a few of these kits. I forget how many I had, but I did list a few of these kits if you're interested. I put a link for the shop in the comments here. Whoops, I got that backwards. Hang on. And I checked to see if I could get any more already. It's already sold out. I mean, supplies are just really tough this year. Really, really tough. All right, let's bring this over here just a little bit here. Okay. All right, so if you are not familiar with the Easy Bow Maker, if you had trouble with your hands, like arthritic hands, or like me, I don't know if you can see, I've got contractures in my hands. This is a good alternative. These pegs right here are going to hold your ribbon for you. So if you've got, like I say, if you've got bad hands, or if you have a hard time with coordination, just the mechanics of it, this is a good alternative. I do like the Easy Bow because it has the measurements right here. We start out, here's 1 inch, and it goes all the way over here to 8. This whole thing here is actually 20 inches. You know, you can kind of watch and make sure that your loops are reasonably even. Okay, they don't have to be perfect. And I also like the easy bow because you can see your bow as you're building it. Okay, and you know, this one we're going to build the bow from the bottom ribbon up. The Pro Bow, it is opposite. It is the top ribbon down. Okay, so those are two big differences. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I am going to put a tail on this one because I'm going to put this one in my, excuse me, this bow in my shop to sell. And that's another thing. My handmade bows, I don't usually put in my shop. I usually use a maker, either the Pro Bow or the Easy Bow, if I'm going to put one in my shop, because then it's more exact. And if I have to make multiples, then it's going to be a little easier to judge. My handmade bows, they're not as you know, they're a little bit more variable. So, okay, so we got 8 inches over here. Got 6 over here. I'm going to make about a 14-inch tail. So I'm going to hold my hand right there and mark it. Okay. This ribbon does have a right and a wrong side. That's the right side. This is the wrong side. You can tell by it, you know, just the fuzziness of it. Okay. All right. Now I've already put my ribbon on my spool here, and you're going to want the ribbon to go up and away from you for the easiest handling. It's not going to fight you as much if you do it this way. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to take this. Let me double check that I haven't moved. Yeah, okay. We're going to take this here at that 14 inches, and I'm going to put this down the spool. Good side is facing away from me. Okay. I'm going to twist it. Okay. And what this is going to do when I twist it, it's going to allow that good side of the ribbon to be facing me and on the right side of the bow loop. Okay. All right, so now we've got the wrong side facing me. Okay. So when I flip this over, I'm going to make this about a 5-inch loop. I'm just going to hold my thumb right there. And we're going to go down vertically again with the good side away from me. Okay, you can kind of hold your finger there and kind of steady it if you need to. We're going to twist it again. Okay, so now we've got one bow loop made, and the correct side of the ribbon's all the way around. Okay, I really like this ribbon. Like I said, it's not uncommon to have really flimsy flannel ribbon, but this is a really nice one. Okay, now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to find my 5 inches. Let me zoom in, you guys. Oh, thank you, Sandra. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to hold my finger around that 5 inches right there, just to kind of steady it. I'm going to mark my bow loop, or my ribbon, I mean. Okay. And again, we're going to take it up here, go down vertically through the spool. The good side is facing away from me. We'll double check again. Twist it. Push it down. Okay. Every time you come down here to the center, you want to be sure to push this down, because you want your bow center to be good and tight, and that's what's going to make those bow loops kind of poof and open up. Okay. All right, now we're just going to repeat this process. Okay, I'm going to make 3 loops of this on either side. Okay, now we already have 1 loop here, so we can just use this one as a guide from here in. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take it down vertically. We're going to twist, push it down. Okay, we're going to come over here to the other side. Again, we're going to use this other bow loop as a guide. Good side away from me. Twist and push it down. Okay. All right, and as we're doing this, you want to kind of check it to make sure that you're making your twist complete. You can fix it later if you have to, but it's a good idea to kind of keep an eye on it. Okay, and that way you're not going to have some more work for you later. And you know, if you have an incomplete bow loop, then, or I'm sorry, an incomplete twist, then the ribbon's not going to lay right. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and spread these out. Okay, I can still see my 5 inches here. We could stop right there if we wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm going to put 3 loops on either side here. I'm going to go over here to the 5 inches again. twist it and push it down. All right, now this is the last loop we're going to do. So we don't need to twist it because my ribbon is already going to show me the right side of the ribbon, okay? So when you're done, remember that last loop, you do not have to twist it, okay? All right, now what we're going to do here, I'm going to come over here with my 5 inches. Okay, I'm going to mark it. I'm going to pinch it. And I'm just going to sit it down here, okay? And if you wanted to, you got a beautiful bow right now, you could stop right here. But we're not going to, okay? And this is a good opportunity too. You know, myself, I have a tendency to get uneven bow loops when I'm using the easy bow. So it's a good idea to kind of come back in here and kind of make sure that you don't have anything that's drastically larger than the other. It's okay if it's a little bit off. Nobody's going to notice, but you don't want it grossly uneven, okay? All right, now I'm going to come down here. I'm going to trim my tail. I'm just going to use this other one as a guide, okay? Cut that right straight across. All right, I haven't checked this out. I think we could probably dovetail this. It has a good tight weave to it, and it's not double layered, and has a good body, so I'm going to go ahead and dovetail it. To do that, we're going to take our ribbon, we're going to fold it in half, just like that. Hope you can see that. Let me back up a little bit. Well, hang on. Let me find a place where you can see. Okay. All right, here's our wired side. We've got our ribbon folded in half. Here is my folded side, okay? All right, and I'm going to go up a little high because this ribbon was actually creased down here. So I'm going to trim that off at a V or an angle, and now I got a nice V. Okay? All right, we'll do another one. All right, I'm going to take this, I'm going to fold it in half. Wired side, folded side. We're going to cut it at an angle. Now we got a V. And some people call it fishtailing. I've always called it dovetailing. But it doesn't matter what you call it. We're all good here, right? Okay, so now we have our first layer of ribbon. And like I said, this is a beautiful bow. These bows, just the buffalo check bows, were really popular for Christmas last year. Okay. All right, now, I wanted to do the next one with the turquoise. I just want a little hint, as I said, I just want a little touch of the turquoise, and I don't want it to be up front in your face. I just want a touch of it, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make 2 loops, one on either side, and that's going to be it, okay? All right, so I'm going to do the same thing. Notice I've got the ribbon coming off the spool away from me. I'm going to bring my ribbon down here. This is the right side. This is the wrong side. You can see that it's folded that way because it's a brand new roll. Okay? All right, I'm going to come down here with my tail, compare it. Okay? Can you guys see that? Let me raise up just a little bit. All right, I'm comparing it with my tail, okay? All right, now we're going to put it down here vertically. We're going to make the good side be away from us, okay? We're going to twist it and push it down. All right, we're going to, and notice I'm kind of holding this down now because there's so much bulk with this flannel ribbon. It's going to be pushing it upward, and you can see the pegs kind of splay apart. Mine are glued in, but every now and then I've got to hammer them in. And I've not done that lately, so I probably could now, actually. But I'm going to hold that down with my finger. I'm going to bring this over. And this one I'm going to make about 4.5 inches. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Now, I always have my cutting mat here. And as you can see, it's kind of difficult now as we move in to see the markings. If you wanted to, you could move your ribbon out of the way. That's no problem. But I want to look at my cutting mat. I've got it lined up here with the inch markers, and now I can easily see that 4.5 inches is going to be right here. Okay? I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. We've got fighter jets flying all over our house. I'm a little distracted right now because they sound like they're right on top of the house. But we've had fighter jets going off and on. The last 3 or 4 days, I guess they're doing some kind of practice or something, but that one sounded really loud. Could you guys hear it? Anyways, okay, now we're at 4.5 inches. Sorry about that. Felt like the house was falling in. All right, now we're going to do the same thing over here, only we're just going to put one loop of this, remember, so I do not have to twist this one, okay? I'm just going to pinch it. All right, I'm looking for my 4.5. Hold it over there. I'm going to pinch it, and I'm going to push it down, okay? Again, make sure you're pushing it down there in the center. Oh, Sharon heard it? Yeah, I thought it was like I've not heard them that loud. Sounded like they were going to land on the house. All right, we're going to dovetail these. But you could tell I was a little distracted there. Everything going on yesterday, I was a little bit worried because I thought, what's going on? But I guess they're just doing practices. We have a National Guard in an airport right here. So, okay. All right, so this is what we have so far. We've got one loop of this. We have 3 of these. Now let's go to the gnome ribbon, and this one is the one I was telling you we have to do a little bit different, okay? We're going to put it on our spool with the ribbon going away again, but if I were to put this on here and use it just like I do the other ribbon that does not have the one directional pattern to it, I'm going to have gnomes upside down all over the place. So, and that, I mean, some people it doesn't bother. It does bother me. So I like to have them up, right side up. And the way I do it, and I say it that way because there's different ways to do this, but this is the way I do it, and it works well for me. I just take them and basically build the bow outside of the maker, okay? Now this one, a lot of times I'll put my tails up here. I don't want to do that this time. I'm going to bring it down here, and I'm just going to have a real short tail, okay? I'm going to take this, I'm going to pinch it, okay? And I'm going to put, on this particular ribbon, we're going to use 2 loops on either side, okay? All right, so I'm looking down here. This one's going to be about 4 inches. I'm coming in about a 1/2 inch every time, okay? So I'm going to look for about 4 inches, which is about right here, okay? I'm going to pinch it and just set it down in there, okay? Now make sure you've got plenty of stump over here. If you're not going to make a big tail, make sure you got plenty of stump here so that you're not going to pull out your ribbon if you go to start fussing with it, okay? All right, so now we're going to take this. I'm going to come over here to about 4 inches, which is right about right here as I look down here on my mat, okay? I'm going to pinch it and just set him in there, okay? Now my guys are standing straight. I know that's upside down for you guys. Okay, so now they're standing straight. Okay, hey Kelly, how are you? Yes, Phoebe, I do have this ribbon in my shop. I've got a few kits put together, but yeah, it's adorable. I love it. And like I said, I'm not a gnome person, but I do really like it. All right, I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim off this tail, okay? Trim that off. I want to kind of avoid cutting my gnomes here. I'm going to try to cut a kind of a long tail, so at least you see his face, okay? All right, now we need another, some gnomes coming this way, okay? All right, now we're going to do the same thing We're going to pinch us a tail, and I'm kind of looking, I want to be sure that my gnomes are visible, so I wouldn't want to bring him right here and then have a loop that always sees his hat, okay? So I'm kind of eyeballing that and trying to make it to where I'm going to have a nice loop. I'm looking at I've got my peg right here. I brought my ribbon over to the 4-inch mark, okay? All right, I'm going to go ahead and pinch it, sit it down in there. I'm going to pull that gnome down just a little bit. Again, I want to be sure that he's visible, okay? All right, now I'm going to bring this over the top. I'm holding it down, though. I don't want to lose him. I'm bringing it back over to my 4 inches right here, pinching it. Now I'm going to sit it down, okay? All right, so now we'll come down here. We're going to trim it off. Going to dovetail it. And I know this is, if you're not comfortable doing this, it just takes practice and just kind of, you know, focusing and thinking about it. But this video will be available, you know, here on my page if you've got to watch it over and over, you know. So don't, you know, I don't think that, I know for myself, I wouldn't be able to watch it one time and do it. So don't feel bad about that, okay? Unless you catch on a lot quicker than I do. Right? Okay. All right, so that's what we have so far. Okay? All right. Hey, Debbie. Here's Josephine, Leslie. All right, now, last ribbon here, and again, I'm going to put it to come off the spool away from me, okay? I'm going to measure me a tail, and I try to pretty much bring my tails a little shorter every time. I try to err on the side of caution, though, because, you know, it's always easier to trim them a little shorter than to wish you hadn't, you know. So, all right, now we're going to, this is that flannel, other flannel ribbon. This is the good side. This is the wrong side, okay? All right, we're going to come down here. We're going to measure our tail. This one, I'm just going to put one loop on either side again, okay? All right, I'm going to twist it as I go down, push it down. Hey, Josephine. Hey, Joanne. All right, I'm pushing it down. Going to bring it around. Now, this one was 4 inches. This one's going to be about 3.5 inches. And just notice, I brought them in about 1/2 inch every time. That kind of brings the eye toward the center of the bow, kind of closes that center of the bow, okay? All right, so let's find 3.5. That's about right here. And again, I'm having to hold this down with my finger because it's all that bulk is kind of pushing it upward. Now I'm going to twist it, okay? Bring it to the other side. Now this one I'm not going to have to twist because I've already got the good side showing. Okay, I'm just going to sit it down there after I pinched it. Look at, let's see. So we're about 3.5 inches right there. Okay. All right, so now we've made our bow. Now if you wanted to put these ribbons in a different order, you certainly could do that. Okay. I just, I told you the way I kind of think out the process. And even if you wanted to maybe bring in another piece of the turquoise up here, you could do that also. Or even, bring this 2.5 inch ribbon up here. The thing about these are, or thing about this is that you can, you can always undo it, right? Oh, thank you, Glenda. Thank you, Debbie. All right, now I'm going to get a zip tie, which I forgot to get any out. Let's grab that. And I grabbed a pipe cleaner, and I've got a zip tie. Okay. All right, now I'm going to go down underneath all this ribbon, and I'm going to put this zip tie diagonally underneath all the ribbon. Okay. I like to put it diagonally because otherwise I have a hard time keeping the sides of the bow even. Everything gets kind of cattywampus where the bow loops are not equal. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that the knob here, that knob on the zip tie, is pointed downward. Okay? All right, so I'm going to slide all this ribbon up, making sure that I've got all the ribbon. I haven't left any behind. I'm going to bring this up and over. And I'm going to just close that zip tie. I don't have it cinched down though, okay? I'm going to slide this up. Now I'm going to cinch this down just a little bit, not tight. I'm just going to make it to where I can let go of it a little bit, but I can still manipulate the ribbon, okay? Now, I was telling you about incomplete bow twist, and this is what I'm talking about. I'm just going in here and I'm opening these ribbons up and making sure that the twist is complete, okay? Get all your bow loops the way you want them. Get your tails the way you want them. Because once you cinch down that zip tie, it's kind of hard to adjust everything. All right, make sure this turquoise is in between these two. Same thing with this flannel here. And remember, when you're pulling on these, you don't want to pull on them so tight that you pull that little tail out unless you know, a lot of times I'll leave the tail up above the bow. I didn't want to do it this time. I don't know why, I just didn't want to. No good reason. All right, so we're happy with our bows. Looks good. Got our tails all down here. Now I'm going to twist or turn it upside down. I'm going to put my pipe cleaner underneath of that zip tie. This is what's going to allow me to then attach this bow to whatever I want, okay? All right, I'm going to tighten it down. Whoops. All right, tightened it down, and now I'm going to clip off that end. All right, now there's our bow. Now, we do still have the zip tie right here. Okay, so we need to cover that with something. And I think, you know, I kind of thought about putting a touch of turquoise there. I think that would be the choice for to cover the zip tie. So what we're going to do, we've got a 1.5 inch here. I'm just going to trim it in half. I'm going to trim it about 8 or 9, 10 inches, give or take. Just don't do it too short. So if you've got little sausage fingers like me, it's hard to get your fingers around that and get it tied well, okay? All right, so I've got the wired edge here. I've got the rough edge here. I'm going to fold it in half. Okay? All right, so now there's no rough edges showing. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to cover up that zip tie. I'm going to make sure I've got all my tails on the right side. I'm not going to mess up like I did last week, you guys. All right, now I'm just going to tie this. All right, we just tied it in just a plain old knot. I'll clip it off. All right, and there's our bow. Isn't that cute? I really like it. The zip turned back a little bit. I like that turquoise touch in the center there. All right, and like I said, I do have some of these kits in my Box My Bow shop. All right, anybody have any questions on this one? Hey Penny, hey Ketta, how are you? Oh, thank you, Dorothy. That's so sweet of you to say. Oh, and Oliveras is wanting to know if make a bow like this, what do you think I should charge? It depends on your market, honestly. But a good rule of thumb is to charge $1 per loop. So we got 6, 8, 12, 14. So $14, that's not going to be enough for this bow though. another, other people say, aside from charging the boat $1 a loop, they also charge $1 for each ribbon change. So then you would have the, what do we say, 14, and then I'd add $4 for the ribbon changes. So that'd be $18. That'd be a good starting point. But you could probably get more than that on Etsy, I would imagine. Myself, when I list this bow, it's probably going to be either $19 or $21. And that is going to include shipping, though. My shipping runs mid-4s to $5, so I might even up it a little bit. Might be $21 or $23. I'll just have to compare. What I do, I get it in my head what I want to charge, and then I go to Etsy, find comparable bows, see what everybody else is charging, because you don't want to charge way less if you could get more for that bow. So, oh, thank you, Kelly. Thank you guys so much for all the sweet words. I appreciate that. I feel like I'm losing my voice, guys. Sorry. Okay. All right. I'm going to raise you guys up again here. Are you guys ready for this next ribbon? I couldn't wait for this ribbon to come in, you guys. I picked it out at Market. Hang on, let me get this stuff put up. I am losing my voice, aren't I? Allergies. Okay. Let me get this stuff out of the way. Are you guys ready for this? I was so excited when I saw this at Market, I couldn't stand it. It was so pretty. I thought it was beautiful when I first saw it, but then when I found the ribbon to match it, is that not gorgeous? Isn't it beautiful? I really wish I would have bought more. I do have a few kits of this. This is 4-inch ribbon. But then I walked around the showroom just like I just told you, with the same process in mind. I started with this ribbon, then I worked outward from there. But isn't that gorgeous? But anyway, then I found this one. Okay, but now let me back up a second. I haven't made too many bows with you with the 4-inch ribbons on our bow day to kind of tell you about my thought process. Sometimes I will put, now I'm talking about a big bow. Sometimes I will put 2 4-inch bows together, or 2 4-inch ribbons together. Not often, but you can. But usually when I'm doing that, I'm putting 1 loop of both the 4-inch ribbons. I don't know if I have any hanging up here right now. Well, here's a whole entire bow with a 4-inch ribbon. But you can see there's only 3 loops of this, and look how big that bow is. So, like I said, I will do that. Sometimes it just depends on the circumstance and what you're going to use it in. You want to think about scale. For example, if I'm making a tree topper bow with this, I can put a lot more bow loops. I could probably put 4 of 2 4-inch ribbons, depending on the size of the tree. Okay, but for this purpose, what I wanted to do, I wanted 1 4-inch ribbon. Now I won't go from a 4-inch to a 1.5-inch, except in very rare circumstances. But I wanted 1 4-inch ribbon, 1 or 2 2.5-inch ribbons, and I found this one. I thought those colors are perfect. Okay. And so then I'm looking, I've already got a lot of red here. Okay. So I'm thinking in my mind, I need a green and I need a gold, or an emerald green and a gold. Okay. So I go around the showroom and I found this emerald green lame. I want to make sure that it's solid because I've already got a lot of pattern going on here, and I'm really needing to separate these two. So these two are, both of them are gorgeous ribbons, and I want to separate them so that they can both be appreciated. Okay, So that's what I've got so far. So now I need my gold. And I found just a simple 1.5 inch. It's kind of a mesh pattern with the glitter. I don't know if you can see that it is a mesh, but isn't that gorgeous? Okay. All right, so I thought with this. Oh, Marilyn, you got this at Michael's? I don't know if it'd be the same one, Marilyn. All right. Oh, thank you, Carol. All right. Now, this one I told you I wanted to make a handmade bow because I'm going to use this one to make a Christmas wreath with. Let me get the tape off of it here. And I'm going to move the camera so you can kind of look over my shoulder. And hopefully, I mean, this, to me, this is the simplest way to make a handmade bow that I'm going to show you, okay? All right, so I'm going to move you. Oh, it's 2 inch? Okay. All right, I'm going to move you guys, so watch your eyes. I don't want to make you sick. I'm going to try and make it to where you can see over my head. You can see all my roots and my gray hairs now. All right, I'm going to drop you down here. Let me see. I had this all worked out in my mind what I was going to do here so you could watch. I have to move you back. Maybe back even a little bit further. All right. Okay. Now, like I said, this is the way I hand make my bows. And to me, it's the simplest way. I've tried a lot of different ways to make bows. To me, this is the simplest way. I am going to get a pipe cleaner and a zip tie. This ribbon's going to be kind of thick, so the bow's going to be kind of thick. So I like to use a zip tie in that case. And I'm going to make let's make about a 14-inch tail again, okay? And I leave my tail coming out above my head here, okay? It goes up, all right? And what I do, I just take this and I pinch it. Now we're starting from the bottom up, okay? We're going to pinch this, okay? Now I'm going to take this tail and I'm going to make let's make about a 6-inch loop. I've just got my tail going up here, right? I'm going to bring this back down here. Now I'm going to take it in, I'm going to pinch it. Open it up. So I've got my tail here. I just have one loop. All right, is that easy? Easy peasy, right? Okay. Now, I'm going to take it, I'm going to twist it so that the right side of the ribbon is showing. Okay. I'm going to bring it right back to the center. Make sure that my loops are equal. Okay. So all I'm doing, I've got this loop over here, I've got my tail. I brought this, after I've twisted the ribbon, I brought this back. Now I'm going to pinch it again. Okay. Now I'm going to twist it. Okay. So I've got both my tails there. Okay. Oh, Julie. Yes, Julie, we earned a lot of gray hairs in CVICU and dealing with all those cardiac surgeons. That'll do it. Okay, so we really just got a bow tie, okay? If you can make a bow tie, you can do this, all right? All right, ready for our next ones? Now the next one, remember I wanted to separate the pattern. I wanted to separate this red from the other red one. Okay, so I'm going to bring in this emerald green. All right, I'm going to get plenty of ribbon off. Okay, now this is the right side of the ribbon here. Okay, it's pointing toward me. I'm just going to lay that right on top. Okay, I'm going to pinch it. Okay, just going to pinch it. I'm going to twist it. Make sure your twist is complete. I'm going to bring it right over the top again. Okay, and I can make this just a little bit shorter than this one right here. I didn't have that twist complete. There we go. All right, I'm going to pinch it. I'm going to twist it and bring it right back to the center. All right, now that's going to make just a little bit of a break in between those two patterned ribbons. That way they're both going to be appreciated, okay? All right, now I'm going to come down here. I'm just going to cut my tail. Okay, so that's what I have so far. So we've got both our tails. Isn't that easy? Right? Okay. All right, now let's come in with this striped ribbon, or plaid, I should say. Get off plenty of ribbon. Tell you what, this is going to be a gorgeous in a wreath. Absolutely gorgeous. I wish I'd have got more. All right, now we've got the right side of the ribbon. That's looking at us, right? Okay. I'm going to put it down here. Just pinch it. Okay. Twist it. Bring it back to the center. Pinch it. Twist it, bring it back to the center. Okay, check your loops. Okay, gorgeous, gorgeous, I love it. You know, emerald green's supposed to be really popular for Christmas this year. I'm going back to the more traditional colors a little bit more. Isn't that gorgeous so far? We're not done. Got one more loop. But like I said, this is the way whenever I'm on a video and I'm making a bow kind of quickly, this is the way I'm doing it. And to me, you know, if you have another way to make a bow by hand and it works for you, do it. You know, don't change just for, you know, when you see something else. But this to me was the easiest way to make a bow by hand. All right. Again, we're going to lay this right over the top here. Good sides down. Now usually my last ribbon, I'm going to make it somewhat smaller. I just want a touch of this gold. I'm going to twist this, bring it back to the center, pinch it, twist it, bring it back to the center. Okay? Then we're going to cut it. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. All right. Isn't that gorgeous? And if you wanted a bigger bow, you could certainly do that. If you wanted, you know, more of the 4-inch. Like I said, if I was going to make a tree topper out of this, I certainly would do that. But, all right, I'm going to drop you guys back up. Or bring you guys back up, I should say. Well, I can't do that right now. Let me, Julie's wanting to know, do I usually use 4 different ribbons when I'm making a bow? That's my general rule. But like I said, this one back behind me, I just used 1 ribbon. It just depends. Just depends on the, what I'm making, how big I need the bow, what ribbons I can find. But for Christmas, I like to kind of go all out. All right, I'm going to take my zip tie, and I'm going to run it right underneath of here, underneath all this ribbon, right by my thumb. Okay? And it's going to be coming out. It's going to be coming out in between my pointer finger and my middle finger. Okay? Now we're going to secure this. Get all our bow loops right. I like to have them all kind of alternating. I want all of those ribbons to shine. They're all gorgeous in their own right, and I want them all to shine. Okay. All right, now I'm going to turn it over. Once I'm happy, I'm going to take my zip tie, put it underneath of there. Now I'm going to tighten it down. Now this one, the other one I put something in the center. This one I'm not going to because whenever I'm making a bow that I'm putting in a wreath, a lot of times I'm going to put something, maybe like, for example, of this one, I might put a small little emerald green ornament or something like that in there. And I don't usually trim my tails until I've got it in the wreath either. But I love it. I don't think you can see the glitter like what I can see in person. I think this ribbon's going to need to be seen in person before you can really appreciate it. It is gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to drop you guys down again. Try not to take you on too bad of a ride. There we go. I feel like I'm going to have to get off here. My voice is almost gone. But anyway. All right. So wasn't that easy peasy? All right. Anybody have any questions? Oh, thank you, Oliveras. Oh, Ethel May. Oh, Ethel May, you're asking about this burgundy wreath. Yeah, I did do, this was one of our tutorials, actually. We made a very similar one. I did this one, I had stood in for Julie Smacco the other day. She had something come up and needed somebody to fill in. I did this one for her group, but we also did it in our group. But yeah, Julie, this is another example. Here is a wreath where I just used three bows because this one stands by itself, this ribbon, really, it's gorgeous. And I just used 3 for this one. Now, I would not have just used the 4-inch ribbon and the 1-inch or 1.5-inch ribbon. I wouldn't have done that. I like to have kind of a stagger down to the center of the bow. But yeah, I love it. This one's already spoken for. I've got another one that I don't know if it's going to be spoken for or not. But I might have another one. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Ethel May, hopefully it's boxmybow.com, but I have moved everything over to my Etsy shop. The boxmybow.com is now directed to my Etsy shop. It's just too hard to keep both of them open, so I put them all over my Etsy shop. But you can use either adorabledecodecor.com or boxmybow.com. I did put a link here in the comments if you're interested. Okay? All right. Oh, thank you, Oliveras. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Carol. Yeah, I love it too. I love the colors. I love bling, as you can tell. That's just always been my nature. Now I like rustic too. I'm just a natural, a normal crafter, always wanting to go to the next thing, but I do the bling for a while, then I go back to the rustic, and then I, back and forth. So, but now I did want to tell you guys also, in case you didn't hear it in my other videos, I do have my wreath making group open right now for enrollment. It's a wreath making group. We make wreaths, we make swags, we make bows. We'll be working on some tree toppers coming up here soon. We make centerpieces and arrangements, just a variety of things. But I do have the enrollment ready or open right now. If you're interested, I'm going to have it open, and it's going to close. I haven't decided if it's going to be the end of this week or next week, but once it closes, I'm not going to open it up again until next week or next year, because we're coming into the busy season. I really want to be focusing on the members in there, and focusing all my attention right there, get them all ready for the holiday season. But if you have any questions about it, just let me know. There's at least 50 tutorials already in the group that are available. We do a new downloadable edited video every Monday, and then we do at least two freestyle videos 2 times a month. We have a drawing, we have Q&A, Etsy reviews, all kinds of different things. So we'd be glad to have you. If you have any questions, just let me know. I did drop a link in the comments here also. If you want to check it out and get all the details on it and to sign up. So, okay? Oh, thank you, Kelly. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. Yes, there is a charge for my wreath making group. It's $19 a month, but like I said, right off the bat, you've already got 50 tutorials. And there's tutorials that are more geared toward beginners, and I try to step you through. There's advanced projects, and there's more beginner type projects, but everybody's great about giving a lot of support and answering questions and that kind of thing. So but like I said, if you want to try it out, if you get in there, you don't like it, you don't have to stay. I mean, it's not a subscription per se. I mean, it is a subscription, but it's not a one you can't get out of. So, okay, all right. It's $19, Oliveras. Yeah, less than the price of a pizza, right? So, okay. Oh, thank you, Carol. I think so. Like I said, you get a lot for your money, and we do monthly drawings for a supply box. So, it's fun, and everybody that is in that group is a great supportive person. I can't say enough good about them. Yeah, it was a glam wreath, Ethel May. Yes, it was. But well, I'll talk to you about it later. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Ethel May. Yeah, Ethel May's in there. We've got a lot of group members here today. So, okay, I'm gonna get off of here before my voice goes completely, and I will be live at least by Friday here on the business page. I don't know. Usually we just make something fun on Fridays. Usually when my group is open, I'll go out live a little bit more often, just to answer questions and such. But anyway, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Email is the best route. Messenger just is not working very well, very reliable right now. In fact, I got a message today that somebody had sent a few days ago. So anyway, email is the best route, or just post it here in the comments. So, okay. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Have a great rest of your day and stay safe. Bye-bye.